You know, it's strange, and I'm sure you guys have noticed this too. I have barely heard anything about women's college basketball this season. This time last year, women's basketball dominated the headlines from December to early April. But we're in the middle of March, and I have barely heard a damn thing about women's basketball this year. I wonder why. Everyone knows that you're not going to be able to replicate the success of Caitlin Clark. No one was expecting that. It's unfair to compare ratings from this year to last year because you're comparing ratings from a once-in-a-lifetime superstar to players that most people have never heard of. It's like comparing the Indiana Fever's ratings to the rest of the WNBA dump. But that does not mean you hide the ratings. This is pure speculation on my part. But as someone who covers ratings extensively and has for a long time, as someone who used to receive daily ratings reports, it has become incredibly difficult to find ratings unless they want us to see them. I don't know why, but if I had to guess, maybe the networks got tired of looking bad? I don't know. All I know is it took the entire regular season for women's basketball ratings on ESPN to finally be released. Now, there is good news and there is reality. The good news is the women performed well during the conference championships. Last Sunday, USC UCLA, JuJu Watkins versus whoever the hell plays for UCLA. 1.4 million viewers on CBS, down more than 50% compared to last year, but still a good number for women's college basketball. For comparison purposes, their regular season game a week earlier, it only drew 660,000. South Carolina, Texas on ESPN. Dawn Staley along with 10 unknown players and an opposing coach. 1.3 million viewers, down 700,000 viewers compared to last year. But again, a very good number. The other conference championship games, they failed to eclipse 1 million viewers, but they still performed well. But it was the regular season ratings that caught my attention. It was the regular season ratings that confirmed the suspicions that I have been having all season. Suspicions that I couldn't confirm because I couldn't find the ratings. People are not watching women's college basketball. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Link to the main channel's in the description below. The worldwide leader in woke, ESPN, they carry more women's basketball than any other network. I mean, it makes sense because ESPN is supposedly the proud home of women's sports. Throughout the season, games on the ESPN family of networks, they average 280,000 viewers. There are primetime shows on CNN that easily double that number. Teen Mom on MTV, a show that follows a group of supposed teen mothers who haven't been teenagers in decades. These ladies are so old now, their kids are teenagers. I thought the show had been canceled because of low ratings. Last I heard, Teen Mom was struggling to reach 400,000 viewers, but that's damn sure more than 280,000. Games broadcast on ESPN itself, 511,000, which that's decent. That's decent for women's college basketball. That would be a decent number for the NHL, but remember what the mainstream media was telling us the last couple of years? We were told by the media that women's college basketball is exploding in popularity. These young women are huge stars. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just not seeing the star power. Games broadcast on ABC drew 1.2 million viewers, which is a good number. It's a good number, but it's also confusing. ABC has access to a litany of games. If they wanted to, they could broadcast at least a dozen games throughout the season, but for some reason, ABC only chose to broadcast 3 games in the past 5 months. Why? With a sport that is supposedly exploding in popularity, why would you essentially broadcast a game every other month? Maybe, just maybe, ABC realized that there was no interest. Now, to be fair, maybe women's college basketball needs time to grow. I mean, they've only been on television for decades, but they just started being promoted in the last couple of years. So maybe they just need time to grow, but these current numbers prove my theory. In order for women's college basketball to draw, you got to have a gimmick. You need high stakes. Early this morning, I spent a few minutes trying to find ratings for early rounds of the conference tournaments in women's basketball. I couldn't find them. I could only find them for the championship games. Now, I could be overlooking them. They could be somewhere, but last year, they were very easy to find. There is clearly an interest in women's college basketball when the game actually matters, just like there is interest in WWE leading up to WrestleMania, but the rest of the year, no one gives a shit about it. I expect the women's tournament to perform. I'm not expecting much from the early rounds, but once we get to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the later rounds of the tournament, I expect them to perform well. But during the regular season, they have the same problem they've always had, the same problem they have been dealing with for decades. For the vast majority of people, women's college basketball, it just ain't that interesting. Give me your thoughts on this. Women's basketball performs for the conference championship games, but it kind of disappoints during the regular season. Why? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.